Hello, my beautiful gems. Today I am going to do an unboxing of a brand new tarot deck. And I know a lot of you like when I do these, so I'm always happy to share new decks when I come across them or when I receive an invitation to review a new deck. And that's the situation with this deck here. Now, this is the Circle of Doors Tarot. And here's the information here in case you are interested in learning more about this particular deck. This is my first time taking a look at it, so I don't know what to expect. Well, I do kind of have an idea, but I haven't physically, looked at the deck yet. I literally just opened the box and turned on the camera. So you can see that this is kind of a different style of tarot deck. Now, most of the decks that I work with are the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. That is the deck that I learned with and that I've used for many decades now. But I'm always interested to kind of see, the newer decks and how the artist kind of creates their own, I want to say, interpretations, but sometimes their own story as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, already right off the bat, I can tell that this size deck is a tad bit larger than the standard tarot card size. Oh, look, it's really nice. Now, I'm kind of getting a very different, I don't know if it's a dark energy, but I'm also feeling like it's a very emotional energy at first glance when I look at this deck. Now, it is sealed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the wrapping, because I don't know if I can do that without, taking a long time. Yeah, let me go ahead and pause the video and remove the shrink wrap, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, and we're back. So first off, I want to say, like I said, this is a larger size tarot deck. Now, sometimes I really appreciate that, especially when I'm doing readings in person, just because I feel like the larger decks, like usually the person I'm reading for, they like to see the cards too, and they kind of like to see the images and kind of share what they think the cards mean. So I kind of like working with the larger size decks when I do in-person readings. Now, the box is really well made. You can see it's got a message here. It says, "Trust the journey." Circle of Doors Tarot on this side with the gold foil embossing. And then this is a look at the back with the description of the deck. It's created by Anne Stavely and Jill Sutherland. Guidebook written by Brian Duffy. Includes 78 cards and a 180-page guidebook. And you can learn more at circleofdoorstarot.com. So it looks like, yes, it does have a little magnetic clasp. Oh, this is beautiful. So I hope you guys can see. So it's got this beautiful image here. It says, "Which door will you choose?" And that's obviously the theme of the deck. Oh wow, these cards are absolutely stunning. Okay, so we're going to look at each of those in just a sec, but I want to look at the guidebook. Now, this is a really nice book, very well made, very high quality, with beautiful images. So now, if you are like me, most of the time I don't use guidebooks because I like to kind of really tap into my own intuitive impressions I get when I work with the deck. But for some people, they really like to study the guidebook. So at least, you have a really well laid out, very thorough guidebook here to do that with. And this is what the box looks like on the inside. Very beautiful. Very colorful too. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. Like I said, I'm really impressed with the quality of this deck. The cardstock is really nice, and this gold gilded edge is just everything. So beautiful. All right, so you know how I typically do these. I usually just kind of flip through the cards, and that way you can see, because a lot of people like to see what each of the cards look like. Look at that, the Priestess, Goddess, Matriarch. Okay, so some of, or I don't know, maybe, yeah, it looks like this card has its own, well, what would it be, titles for certain cards. So there's definitely a feminine energy coming through with this deck, and I do love that. Now remember, I am just sharing my first impressions right along with you. I have not gone through the deck. This is my first time taking a look at it right with you. Look at the Wheel of Fortune. That's one of my favorite cards in every deck. The Strength card. Yes, definitely a really powerful feminine energy here. I also get, like I said, a lot of driven emotions coming through with this deck. Temperance. Look at this Star card. That's really beautiful too. And the Moon is lovely. So a lot of times when you do get a brand new deck, especially if you are not familiar with, you know, the artist or the creator, it really is a good idea to take your time and really look at each card and really take note of what type of feelings or what type of, you know, impressions you're getting. Especially if you're an intuitive reader like I am. Sometimes certain cards will scream messages to you that may not necessarily be exactly what the guidebook says, and that's totally okay. Look how cute this is, Innocence. So this says, what I'm noticing is it has the card, you know, name up there, and then on the bottom here it has another word or keyword to kind of help you understand the meaning of the card. Uh-oh, I hope these are in focus. Let me make sure. But this is an absolutely stunning deck. Okay. So let me get back, because it might be trying to focus on the cards. The cards behind. This is the Eight of Cups, moving on. Now these meanings are pretty much in alignment with the standard, well, how I learned the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But of course, every reader will have their own meanings, feelings, definitions, and ideas for each card and each deck that they work with. Interesting. Mother of Cups, giver. Maga of Cups, poet. Crone of Cups, healer. All right, this is Three of Keys, doorway. Yes, I'm really enjoying the imagery of these cards. And they're just, they're such a beautiful card to hold. It feels like a, you know, it's not a linen, but it's a very smooth finish to the card. So this is the suit of keys. And I'm wondering if that is like the, yeah, that's like the wands. Nine of Keys, possibility. Ten of Keys, burnout. Yep, and the Ten of Wands also resonates with that. And then it has Maiden, Mother, and Maga or Maga. Now, I will link all the information I have about this deck down below. That way, if you are interested, you can get a deck for yourself or learn more about the artist and the creator. I love this. Dark mood, stillness. That's interesting. Eight of Knives, rumination. I definitely I'm picking up very strong messages with these cards. I like that. Crone of Knives, Scholar. Ace of Shells, prosperity. You know, one of my favorite one of my favorite cards. Two of Shells, harmony. So obviously the shells represent the coins. I like that. Mother of Shells, provider. And we have the Maga or Maga of Shells, believer. Crone of Shells, keeper. And then this is what the backs of the cards look like. I love that. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed flipping through the Circle of Doors tarot deck. So there's one last look at the box. And I want to thank Anne and Jill for giving me the opportunity to have a first look at this deck. It's absolutely beautiful, very well made, very well, you know, you can tell there's a lot of, I mean, yes, passion, but there's also a lot of purpose and meaning invoked in these cards. So I'm definitely going to practice with these and work with these for some time, and you probably will see them coming up in a reading, you know, being used in one of my readings very soon. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Circle of Doors tarot deck. If you have any questions, comments, please drop them down below. And like I said, I'll have everything linked in the description. So if you want to learn more, if you want to purchase a deck, or if you have any questions and you want to reach out to the creator, you'll be able to do that as well. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I will check in with you again very soon.